On April 16, 2013, gunshots severely damaged PG&E's Metcalfe substation in the San Jose area. Since that time, PG&E has been partnering closely with federal, state, and local agencies to enhance the security of its more than 800 substations across Northern and Central California. Currents recently sat down with Geisha Williams, PG&E's Executive Vice President of Electric Operations, to learn more about what the company and the utility industry have been doing to further protect critical electric grid assets.
When you have, over 100 rounds of gunfire in an electrical facility like this one, I tell you what, it was a game changer. It was a wake-up call for the industry that we really needed to take a look at our physical assets, take a hard look at them to determine what can we do to protect them better, to provide a higher level of security. Immediately following the attack on April 16th, we brought on security for our critical stations in the Bay Area, and again, more of our critical facilities in California. We brought on security guards. We started looking, we worked with law enforcement throughout our service territory, informing them of what had happened and asking for their support. So after the attack and after we were able to sort of restore and recover from it, we realized that we needed some expert advice outside of the typical utilities, areas of knowledge or areas of expertise. So we hired two firms. The first firm is really focused on security, physical security, and they've got broad experience in this matter. And we said, look at Metcalfe and show us the vulnerabilities, and more importantly, show us how we can solve for those vulnerabilities. What are the steps that we need to take to really increase the level of security? And they looked at, of course, the fencing. They looked at our cameras. They looked at our interfaces with our security control center. They looked at new technology that is in the marketplace now, and they made some recommendations based on what they saw at Metcalfe. And at the same time, we hired an engineering firm to help us look at the criticality of various components within the station and to help us with prioritization. So looking at the physical security recommendations from that one firm, the engineering recommendations from the other, and then overlaying those recommendations on a prioritized multi-year basis is the approach that we've taken. Immediately, I would say within a week of the event, maybe days of the event, we were sharing exactly what happened, what we were doing about it with the Edison Electric Institute, which is an industry association that most electric utilities belong to. And we shared presentations, we had pictures, we had chronology of events, and we were able to really elevate what had happened at Metcalfe to not just be a specific issue at PG&E, but frankly something that could happen anywhere in the United States. PG&E staff, either electric operations or corporate security, in many cases both, have made numerous presentations around the country, visiting electric utilities, visiting different law enforcement agencies to, again, describe what happened and, more importantly, the steps we were taking to prevent recurrence. We've been transparent, we've been open. Our view is we had a responsibility to share it with others so that they can learn from our event. We know how critical power is to our customers, and I would just leave you with this. We're taking aggressive action to ensure that the security of our critical infrastructure is protected so that we can continue to deliver safe and reliable service. So in the last week or so, there have been a number of reports at the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and other papers around the country, sort of alleging that we somehow suppressed this attack, that we suppressed this information. And I read something just, I think, yesterday that said that this event had been previously undisclosed. Well, I'm here to tell you that is just dead wrong. When this happened, there was media on site, there were reporters reporting, there were stories in the paper for days on end. We had folks on site answering questions. Now, we didn't take the lead, obviously, in terms of the investigation. Any questions having to do with intent or motive or the attack in and of itself, we, of course, appropriately let the local law enforcement answer those questions. But I think to sort of give the impression that some of these articles are giving, that this was some sort of dirty little utility secret, is not true. This happened. We have been very open and transparent about the actions we took. We worked collaboratively with a California Independent System Operator. There were flex alerts that particular day, and we worked hand in glove with local law enforcement to try to understand why this happened. But more importantly, the actions we've been taking ever since is how to prevent it from happening again.